This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2026 Cedar Creek Experience fifth wheel. Okay, so this is going to be a how-to video. The model number of the trailer is, let's see here, 39 RKB. Okay, rear kitchen, I suppose that is. Alright, so this is going to be a how-to video. Like I said, I'm going to show you some of the features and how they work. So we'll start back here at the door side and rear and move forward. Storage. You have a 6-point leveling system on this trailer. So you see there's 6 jacks, 3 on each side. Hydraulic. I'll show you how those operate when we get to the controller on the other side, okay? You have the fold-out stairs and rail. A power awning with LED strip. Okay. This is a quick connect for a coiled sprayer that comes with it. And this is just 120 AC right here. Alright. See where he's got it latched at. Okay, so this will be the outside entertainment. It's a TV, obviously. The remote will be inside. He was just cleaning the trailer, so there's a little bit of overspray from the hose, I guess. Here you have your basement area, pass through. The switch is a 3-way switch. That was the, you can put it on motion detection, or you can shut it off, obviously, or put it on permanently, just on. Okay. You can see, we'll open the other compartment on the other side, or this compartment on the other side, but you can see there's the coiled sprayer, and there's your dump hose kit. Okay, let's move on. Two 30-pound LP tanks. Okay. And you have storage, of course. Huge storage. And this will be your controller for your leveling system. This is your battery compartment here. Okay. This will be your water and the other side of your pass-through. There's the quick connect sprayer there. This is a reducer that reduces this is a 50 amp system, as you can see from the cable, but we give you a reducer reduce from 50 to 30, and then we give you this one here, which will go from 30 to 20 in an emergency. Obviously you can't run the air conditioners or anything that draws a lot of power, but you can use the lights and that sort of thing. So let's just do the water here. So, okay, first of all, we see this is the kill switch for the battery. You can shut it off right there if you choose to. Your dump valves are here. Okay. These you just have one switch for your hydraulic slide rooms, right? There's 4 of them, or at least 3. This one's auxiliary, so I'm not sure. But either way, the important thing to know is you can shut the other ones off, right? And you can turn the one you want to control on. So let's say you don't want to open all of them. They'll open generally when you push the button to extend them. They'll go in a specific order, right? Let's say you don't want to open all of them. You just want to open one of the, let's say the kitchen slide with the refrigerator and everything on it. You would shut the other ones off and just control that one, so you can actually control which one's open by using this. Okay. Your quick connect would hook up right there. Of course, there's that port on the other side we looked at too, and you have campground cable and satellite there. This is your hookup for your city water. city water would be the most common way to get water to the trailer. That would be, you see there's 5 diagrams here. The center diagram is for city water. And so if you put the valves in those positions, you have your city water hooked up, you're all set. Just turn it on and you're all set. If, let's say you're camping someplace that doesn't have city water, well, you can pre-fill the tank here. This configuration will fill the tank. And then when you get to the campground, you can do this configuration here, dry camping. Put the valves in that configuration, turn on the water pump, and it'll pump water from the tank. So even though you don't have city water, all your plumbing will work as though you do. You'll just be pumping it from the tank, okay? And of course, for winterizing is here, and sanitation is there. So you have 5 options when it comes to the valves, okay? This is your black tank flush. Basically, the rule is, it'll stay on the sticker here, is never turn on the water flow to this black tank flush unless your black tank valve is in the open position. You don't want too much pressure to build up, so make sure this is in the open position before you turn on the flush hose, okay? And of course, these are low point drains here. Okay? You also have on-demand water, hot water I should say. That's the master switch right there. You still have a control panel on the inside, so keep that in mind. You'll shut this off when you're in storage and that sort of thing. But that's the unit itself. I'll show you how it works when we get inside. Okay, 50 amp cord. That's where your hookup is for your dump hose. Okay. Vent for the furnace. More storage, of course. So when we look at the back here, you can see in the center, up at the top, there's a housing, which is a pre-wire for a Furrion backup camera kit you can add on. There's also a hookup for a Lippert telescoping ladder, if you're interested, that you can purchase. The reason you might want to do that is because the manufacturer states the roof should be inspected every 90 days. By inspection, they mean having somebody look at the roof and check for damage that could be damage to the roofing material or roofing attachments that could be caused by low branches or road debris flying up there. Look at the sealant to make sure there's no cracking or separation where water could get through and damage your trailer. So every 90 days it should be inspected just to make sure there's nothing going on. Odds are there won't be, but you still want to look because you don't know unless you look. So it's very important to check it out. That's every 90 days. Let's go inside here. First thing we see when we come in the door is the power converter. This converts AC to DC power. Let me get in here and shut that door so we can adjust the light here. Okay. Alright, so you can see on this side here there's actual circuit breakers like you'd see at home, and they're all labeled. It's 120 AC. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC on this side, so you got 12 volt fuses, and they're all labeled. So it converts AC to DC power. It's also a battery tender, so it'll sense how much, if you're plugged into shore power, it'll sense how much energy your battery at the up in the front battery compartment there, how much amps are in the battery and how many it would take to charge it. So it'll send us, if you need just a couple amps to trickle up there, it'll do that. If you need 10 amps to charge it, it'll do that too. Of course, your tow vehicle will charge the battery also when you're pulling it down the road. I'm going to go back out there because I didn't show you the outside control for the leveling jacks. I walked right past it. I mentioned it, but then I kept going. So let's get over there quick. I've only got a half hour before a new file starts, so I gotta pick up the pace a bit here. Alright, so default is 5241. We'll go 5241, enter, and there we go. So the two terms you want to remember, the most important terms are auto level, which is this one right here, and returned hitch height. Those are the two most important. That's what you're going to use, generally speaking, almost all the time. So after you unhook your tow vehicle and pull it away, you're going to push auto level, and it's going to level the trailer. It always remembers the last position it was in before you auto level. That's considered hitch height to it. So it remembers the last hitch height. So therefore, when you're getting ready to leave the campground, you should be able to put return hitch height, and it will put the trailer in the exact same position it was in before you auto level. So you should be able to slide the tow vehicle right underneath and take off. Okay? Those are the two most important ones, and that's basically what you're going to use 99% of the time. Now you can also you can extend and retract your landing gear, just the front here, up and down, which is really handy, and then retract all is something you rarely use, because it won't hurt anything, but it'll nosedive the trailer. It'll retract all the jacks, even the landing gear, so it'll nosedive. If you have anything under the front end or under the front part of the trailer, it'll get squished. So keep that in mind if you're going to push that. You can also operate the jacks independently and that sort of thing, but auto level and auto hitch height are the most important functions. You can learn to use the rest as you need to, but those are the ones to know, okay? You may know all this stuff already, I know that, but I have to assume you don't, because some people are just usually when you're getting into a super nice trailer like this, you should probably already have had several trailers, but not always. So we'll start here. This is for your exhaust fan in this area. So it's has a remote. It's got a power lid on it, and you can change the speeds and all that from the remote. Okay, it works really well on those days where it's cool. You don't quite need an air conditioner. You can just draw the heat out. This is your solar controller. So your solar panels. You have the solar panels, they come here into the solar controller, then they go out to the battery for storage, or batteries. You have one battery on now, you can add two if you choose to. If you add a second one, make sure it's wired, so you still have a 12-volt system, you just double the storage capacity. So if there's not a diagram up there, you need to look that up, or unless you understand how to do that already. So, okay. But you want to continue the 12-volt system, just double the storage. Okay, so this is the button we're going to deal with. This one here is just to change the type of battery. That's important to know. If you're going to change batteries to gel or to lithium, you have to physically change it. We have deep cycle marine batteries in there now, so it's considered a wet battery, so it's set to wet right there. But if you push this button, you can select what type of battery you're using. When it comes to your power converter, it'll automatically detect what kind of battery you have, but this does not. Okay. Anyway, you have 13.7 volts DC in the system. We're gaining 6.9 amps right now and storing it in the battery. Okay, so that's pretty good. 6.9 amps on a nice day like today. The sun's in the right position. That'll change depending on the cloud cover, the time of day, the weather conditions, the position of the sun in relationship to your solar panels. All that affects how many amps you're gaining. Okay, push it again, and you got 14.1 amp hours. That's not what you got in storage. And then you go back to 13.7. So you push this button, and you get three different screens: the DC voltage in the system, which is good to know; the amp gain right now, how many amps you're gaining from the sun and being stored in the battery; and amp hours available. So keep that in mind, and wow, you can learn as much as you want about it. You know, the most important thing to know is just you have three screens and you push the button 3 times. But okay, that's the solar controller. Now your slide out switches here, and I showed you how you can choose what slide you want to operate out in the water docking area, right? But there's the button for it. Your power awning is right here. Never leave the awning out unattended. If you're not going to be at the campsite, roll it in, of course. Then you have your lights. You have tank heater on this one, so heaters on this one, so all of your holding tanks have heating pads so you can extend your camping season. Your water pump is right here. That's to pump water out of the fresh water tank if you don't have city water. You also use it to winterize the trailer. And then of course you have all your levels, your battery and all your tank levels here. Okay. All right. So that's it there. Here we've got a center room, which has a fold-out hide-a-bed, 3-panel hide-a-bed. That door needs to be adjusted. I'll have them do that. Your fireplace has a remote. It works on 110 or 120 AC. I'll just use the buttons here because I'm here. So it uses campground power. So you can change. Right now the fan is really kicking out, so we're getting serious heat. You can set the temperature there, of course. This one changes the intensity of the fire. This one changes the crystals, right? And then off. So the remote does all that also. Your TV also has a remote. Let me just look around here so I can understand. I believe this TV is a, gosh, I don't know. I wish I didn't prep this trailer, so I want to make sure I give you good information here. Let me look and see if I can find where he's got the remotes. They should be sitting out, but you get new people and they do it their way. Anyway, we'll when you pick up, we'll know for sure. This might be a TV that has FM radio and Bluetooth in it. I don't see a specific controller for Bluetooth or radio, so I'm assuming that's the type of TV we have. So yeah, we'll go with that for now. I'm sorry. I should know, but I don't. So hide a bed here, fold it out, and it turns into another bed. You have recliners here, powered footrest and back. Of course, a desk, TV, or sorry, I'm rattled for not understanding the television here. So this is not a television. This is a table. You have some storage in the bench, and then you have your 2 chairs here. I'm not going to go over the stuff that's self-evident, so I'll stick to the important stuff here. Now I just want to double check here to make sure before I speak. Yes, this is a 12 volt DC refrigerator. So your refrigerator runs on 12 volts. It's really neat. You got the lights right there so you can see the readout there. So it runs on 12 volt DC. Everything that can run on 12 volt DC in a trailer does. Some things have to be AC, like the air conditioning or the microwave, things like that. But everything else is converted to DC power, like I showed you in the power converter, and sent out to DC powered components. Okay. Your microwave is also a convection microwave. Your range works. It's a self-evident thing. You're just going to push the buttons. I don't know if he's got the gas on or not. Yeah, he does. So it's that simple. You just push it in to spark it. Set the temperature you want. When it comes to here are your keys right here, by the way. When it comes to your sink, there's a lot of options. Now there's a box in here somewhere with some pieces for this. I guess I'll keep my eyes open for it. Oh boy. It's a problem with not prepping it yourself, I'm sorry. Anyway, there are more pieces to this. And basically what you have is you look at your control knob here. This side of it is your regular faucet, right? This side of it, if you turn it this way, is your waterfall here. So you have a piece that comes down here, and you have different trays and baskets, and you can clean plates with a waterfall by setting it there and just let the water flow over it. You also can. This is a glass washer. So you turn over the glass and stick it on there and push it down. Never push that down without a glass over it, or you might be sorry. You might just laugh, but you might be sorry. So keep that in mind. And I'm going to keep my eyes open for the other parts here. They're probably under the bed, I would guess. Okay. Okay. So keep in mind, see all the receptacles. They're regular duplexes without a GFC physically here. But there are maybe 3 GFCIs in this trailer, and all the receptacles, even this one here, the one outside, they're all wired through a GFCI, so they're all protected. So if you're trying to use this and it doesn't have any power, first thing you think is GFCI, and you go looking for the GFCI and reset it. Okay. All right. So here. This is the box of the components for your sink. This is just an extra collar in case your dump hose gets run over. You can repair it real quick. These are your remotes here that we talked about. Okay. This is a tire monitor that you get with it. And you have to program it yourself, but there's a inside each wheel, inside the tire, stuck on the wheel directly across from the valve stem, they'll have a sensor, and so you're going to put it up to where that sensor is at, and you're going to program your tire monitors. It'll tell you the temperature of the hubs, the pressure, that sort of thing. Okay, and then these are all the literature for each component of the trailer down in this one here. Okay, you have soft closing drawer slides also, which are nice. Okay, so these are just sensors for your heating and cooling. This is your thermostat here. We'll go to zone 1. It's off, but we can go to cool. High, let's see here, set it to, where are we at, set it 89 for some reason. Let's go down to 70, and now it's just kicked on. So zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. This is a remote for your fan, again. Okay, you have back there. Okay. All right, so the bathroom, the most important thing I'm going to tell you right now is when you're traveling, you always want these latched right like that. If you don't, they'll slide around and eventually, odds are they'll break. Every year we get at least one person who didn't latch them and they break the doors. If they're latched like they are now, then you're not going to have a problem with them. Just don't let them just slide and bang around while you're in transit, okay? Of course, your shower is self-explanatory. You have a body thing there. You got a hand and then a regular shower head. So that's cool. When it comes to the toilet, it works like all RV toilets. It sits right over a black tank. Your flush pedal is here. So the idea is you're going to get to the campground, hook up your power and your water. You'll come into the bathroom. Now, your black tank is empty because it was dumped the last time you left the campground. So you're starting off with an empty black tank, so you're going to put a dose of chemical in the bowl, step on the pedal and hold it down till you put at least a gallon of water in there. More is better. Don't use less than a gallon. You can use more. More is better. So at least a gallon of water and a dose of chemical, then you're all set till the next time you dump the black tank. So that's the same as every other trailer. Here's a GFCI like we talked about. That's a physical GFCI. Lights. This is the controller for your on-demand water. You can see right here it's set at 120, so it'll reach 120 and stay there. Now if he has water in the fresh water tank, I can demo it to you. Just have to see. So let's see what we've got here. We're going to turn on the hot water. It's kicked on, so you can see it's starting to light here. The flame should pop up if you've got the gas turned on. Yep, there it goes. So the flame popped up, and now it's increasing. 82, 91, 96, 102, 105, 109. It'll go up to 120 and stay, right? And you got hot water coming out, and that works for any of the hot water valves. As soon as you shut it off, it's doing a cool down, but it's shutting down. So the kitchen sink obviously has hot water. You have shower has hot water. Your vanity has hot water. Outside, I think the sprayer in the water compartment has a hot and cold, so you get hot water there. So it gives you on demand. It's great. You remember the recent days of 6 gallons or maybe 10 gallons. Usually 6 gallons of hot water, which doesn't go very far. So now you could stay in the shower all day if you want. You could put your lawn chair in there. Okay. So, top secret compartment here. These are the new style blinds, by the way. They're kind of neat. I'll show you this because these work like every emergency window does. So there you have it. If there's a kid or a grandkid who needs to know that, please show them. Okay, you're plumbed for a washer dryer, stackable or a combo. Stackable's better, of course. You get more room. You can do bigger loads. Okay. Let me see what we have here. Can I look underneath here? Okay, so there's nothing. I was thinking there would be, but there's not. Okay, and as usual, you got an air conditioner in this room also. Another sensor. Okay, another TV. I'm going to kill myself with this TV thing. I should know this. You run your finger over it. How do you get this thing to go? I should know, but I don't. Okay, so let me walk over here. This is your loft, of course. Where did you have that stuff? It was in here. Okay. Please bear with me. I know I'm whipping the camera around, but I'm kind of pressed for time here. See which one of these works. They're all insignia, so I'll try one. It's lit up, isn't it? I think. Oh well. Oh, there it was. It's just on, wasn't it? Boy, that's no darn good. Okay, so it's loading. So it's a Fire TV, which is a smart TV. While we're standing here, there's also a carbon monoxide and LP gas detector here somewhere. It's right here. This should always be glowing green, like it is. And there's also a test button on it where you can audibly test it. So if that's not glowing green and it's not working, get it replaced immediately or repaired. Generally, it's a replace. It's not expensive. It's a very important safety device, obviously. It's hardwired to the battery, so it's always on. So make sure that you always have that working, okay? Okay. I think that about covers it. We can go over any other questions you have when you pick up. You'll be able to obviously look through it and spend as much time as you need, and then you can ask us questions and we'll know the answer. Hopefully somebody will know. So we'll go from there, okay? So just remember what I said about every 90 days inspecting the roof. That's important. I don't know, some people do it themselves, some people hire people, but the bottom line is you want to be aware of what's happening up there so you don't get damage to your trailer, because you don't know what's happening up there unless you look, okay? And right now, of course, it's plumbing. It's got water in the system. All the antifreeze has been purged, so you're all set for camping until it's winterized, okay? Okay, thank you very much.